Okay, let's go on to the draw. This is the draw for the World Championship. There are 16 players, which is very lucky that we've managed to get 16 players, and it makes it a lot easier. Those players are Adam Cleary, Alan Lockett, Andrew Thomas, sorry, who is a new player, um, and Christian Eisenhut, Chris Stedman, Erman Eriken, who's not played for must be over a year now, and is playing in this tournament, which is great. Number one seed, Jamie Anderson, who surely deserves this title more than anyone, and I'm sure he'll be making a good effort to try and get it. It's very difficult, of course. As the next player is Jasper Kuzman, who is surely, along with Erman, the favourite to win this. We have Mushtaq Ahmed, who a very good player. He's also in the tournament. Mike Mora, title winner. Sorry, my apologies. I meant to say Mohammed. I'm going down from 1 to 9 here. Mohammed Fazi is also entered. Has won a title or possibly more. Um, so he's high up on the list of favourites. Mike Mora, Mushtaq Ahmed, who's also won tournaments and is a good player, very difficult to beat. Then we have Nikos Gerelias, who is probably slightly higher than those two. I'll put him as at number 3 seed. Rafa Elhagen has won titles. He's always there in the mix. Be no easy games, and Rafa, of course, will be very difficult to beat as well. Russell Maguire, one of the former members of OSC, has been known to be very difficult to beat in patches. So depending on his form, could make a few surprise results. Ronnie Temporal, who on paper his rating is very high, but obviously maybe that's not something to be looked at properly or genuinely, but has had the occasion where he can play very, very well. So whether his mental composure, his concentration is up for it, only time will tell. And the other player is Wim de Ruiter. He's a new player. I spoke to him a few days ago. He's agreed to play, and he is roughly an orange player. I've not played him, so we'll have to just see where that lies. They're the 16 players. So we're ready to make the draw. So this is for match one, player one. Matches can start as soon as the draw has been made, and you have 2 weeks to play. So 2 weeks from today, we're looking for the match to be finished. We don't want to put pressure on players to finish. Obviously, want it to be played and completed by merit, but we have to be reasonable and give you two weeks roughly. And I'm hoping players will play any session they can as soon as they can when suits them. So let's make the draw for the first round. So this is for match one here. Player one. All the players are on the wheel that have been entered. So I'm going to click this, And the player that turns up will be player 1 for round 1. Chris Stedman is player 1, match 1. He has break off for his match. He has the choice of break off. He will automatically be presumed as having the break off, which may or may not be relevant. Sorry about that. May or may not be relevant in a match, but you never know. Sometimes it does make a difference, sometimes it doesn't, depending on the type of player, etc. As I've said before, the matches or the standard is pretty close now, barring a few players. Obviously, there are certain players that are kind of a slightly higher level, but most of the other players are pretty competitive, etc. So Chris Stedman is player 1 to go in match 1, and now we're going to draw his opponent. This is who will play Chris Stedman in the World Championship. So it looks like Mushtaq Ahmed will be player 2 in match 1 against Chris Stedman. Hopefully you can see that. So that's the first match, Chris Stedman versus Mushtaq Ahmed. Round 1 matches are first to 10. Now we're on for match 2, player 1. Let's make that draw. This is match 2, player 1. So that's Nikos Gerelis is player 2, match 1. Player 1, sorry, match 2. And I think a lot of players will be a bit tentative about being drawn in the next one. Very difficult player to beat. One of the favourites. Considering it's a random draw, he will be a strong favourite as well. So this is who will play Nikos Gerelis in match 2. Ronnie Temporal will face Nikos Gerolis in round 1. Very difficult match for Ronnie there. He'll have to bring out his best A game for that match. So now we're going to go, I'm just going to have a quick look at the messages because there's been a lot of messages, see if there's any relevant for me. And, okay, that's great. People are following, it seems. No issues, that's great. So now we're going to go on to match 3, player 1. Russell Maguire is player 1 for match 3. There you go. And now we're going to draw who will play Russell Maguire in round 1 of the World Championship. Mike Mora. Mike Mora will play Russell Maguire in round 1. So there we have it. Chris Stedman will play Mushtaq Ahmed. Nikos Gerolis will play Ronnie Temporal. And Russell Maguire will play Mike Mora. This is round 1. And now we're going to go over to match 4, player 1. Still the possibility of Jasper Kuzman and Eric Ehrman being drawn against each other, which I'm sure a lot of players would want, but we'll have to wait and see. So this is match 4, player 1. And it's new player, Wim de Ruyter from Belgium, who is player 1 in match 4. Now it needs to be said here that Wim has slightly different playing setup. He's agreed to play, he prefers to play 4 frames per session, which is fine. But he is going to be available most days around about 8 o'clock. So hopefully this shouldn't be a problem. And I don't think it will be. That's quite a reasonable time. I think most players can fit that time, but he probably will be just playing 4 frames a night. Obviously that might change, but that's just something to note. So this is Wim de de Ruyter is player 1. Let's see who player 2 and who will play Wim de Ruyter in the World Championship round 1. Jasper Koosman will be playing Wim de Ruyter. Both Belgian players will be playing each other. Wim de Ruyter is aware of Jasper Koosman and has said he has played him. He didn't mention whether it was a good experience or not, but that's the random draw. Wim de Ruyter gets number 1's favourite to win, Jasper Koosman, and that is match 4. So we have another 4 matches to draw. So we have Chris Stedman versus Mushtaq Ahmed, Nikos Gerolias versus Ronnie Temporal, Russell Maguire versus Mike Mora, and Wim de Ruyter versus Jasper Koosman. Let's go on now to match 5, player 1. So this is match 5, player 1. Matches can be played at any point as long as both players agree. There is in the match hub a map of when players can play if you want to check that out. Some players still need to update it, but it should give you an idea of when you can arrange a match with your opponent. And player 1 for match 5 is new player Andrew Thomas. He's also an orange player, orange rating. I have no idea how good he is. And it's also worth noting that Andrew Thomas will not be able to start his match until a week on Monday. So he is away this week, but he has confirmed he will play a week on Monday. So whoever's going to get him now will have to wait a week to start their match. But obviously on the other side, if it turns out the match is not able to be finished or he doesn't turn up, I think he will. He seems very genuine, so that shouldn't be a problem. But for whatever reason it's not able to be played, then obviously a bye will be replaced for Andrew, but I'm sure he'll be here. So Andrew Thomas is player 1 in match 5 from Great Britain. And now we'll see who his opponent will be. And don't forget, whoever's drawn here won't be starting that match until a week on Monday, unless it's available this evening. He said he was going away Monday next week, but we'll be back the week after. But let's see who will play Andrew Thomas. Well, that was very close to Erman Eriken there, but it's Christian Eisenhut will play Andrew Thomas, and if you're watching, Christian, but I will let you know, Andrew Thomas won't be available till a week on Monday. And so Christian Eisenhut from Germany will play Andrew Thomas. So we have 6 spaces left, 6 players left. The players remaining are Adam Cleary, Alan Lockett, Ermin Eriken, Jamie Anderson, Mohamed Farsi, and Rafael Hagen. They are the remaining players. So let's go on now to match 6, player 1. Let's make that draw. Alan Lockett is player 1 in match 6. And let's see who will play Alan Lockett in the World Championship round 1. So this is who will play Alan Lockett. Currently number 8th seed in the overall OSC rankings, which has been brought together. If you have a look on the match hub, you can see the current seedings, or money league, sorry. So Lockett has dropped down a bit. So this is who will play Alan Lockett. And it's Rafat Elhagen. Rafat Elhagen will play Alan Lockett in round 1. There we go. So 4 players left. Adam Cleary, Ermin Eriken, Jamie Anderson, and Mohamed Farsi. So this is for match 7, player 1. Let's make that draw. So Mohamed Farsi is player 1 in match 7. And this is basically going to determine the whole draw now. But obviously we'll just complete the draw right through, so we can determine who breaks off first or not. But Mohamed Farsi is player 1, and let's see who will play Mohamed Farsi in the World Championship. So this is who will play Mohamed Farsi. Very good player, very difficult opponent to play, and will be again in the higher tier of favourites. Plays to a high standard. Which one of these players will face him in the World Championship? And it's going to be Ermin Eriken. Ermin Eriken will play Mohamed Farsi. That will be a great game. And Mohamed has a very tough match. So does Ermin. To be fair, they're both very good players. Ermin, obviously, I would say, has the upper hand. So that obviously means that Jamie Anderson will play Adam Cleary, and we're just going to decide who gets the break, who's player 1. So Adam Cleary will get the break off. So Adam Cleary gets break off for that match, and he's player 1 in match 8. Sorry, yes, right. So Adam Cleary. So there we have it. Oh, wait 1 sec. So there we have the draw for. Let me just see. It's come up on the website. So there we have the draw. Chris Stedman will play Mushtaq Hamid. Nikos Gerolas will play Ronnie Temple. Russell Maguire will play Mike Mora. Wim de Reuters will play Jasper Koosman. Adam Thomas will play Christian Eisenhut. Alan Lockett will play Rafa Elhagen. Mohamed Fawzi will play Erman Erikan. And Adam Cleary will play Jamie Anderson. That's the round 1 draw. There will be another draw for the quarterfinal once all winners have been concluded. You have 2 weeks to play your match starting from now. So up until a week on Sunday night, quarterfinal will technically start 2 weeks on Monday. Obviously, if all matches are completed before that time, then we can make the draw and starts from then. So thank you for watching. I will post some details in the OSC area very soon. I'm just going to look at some of the messages now, see if there's any questions. Okay, so everyone's just contemplating the times to play. Mohammed and Erman are looking forward to their match. That's probably the match of the draw, to be fair. Like I say, if you go on to the match hub, you can see I've done playing time. There's a playing times sheet on there, which gives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different sessions in one particular day. And obviously most of you filled out the post, and that just tells you when everyone can play. So for example, on Thursday at 7 o'clock is the most popular one, which is 12 players are available at that time, for example. Jasper Koosman and Nikos Gerolas need to complete that if they can. I've sent them a sheet for them to fill out. But if you can check this page on the Match Hub, which you'll see in the About page on or at the top post in OSC group, Facebook group. And so that means that I'll be filling out the Match Hub as well, and the people who are around. But it's just you can play your match now and just get ready and speak to your opponent when you want to play. And if you can let David Badaquilt know, myself, David Badaquilt know, or OSC know in some way, so we can update the sheets. Good luck to all players. That's the end of the draw. And as I said, may the best man win. Thank you for watching.